Okay. That's headphone volume's very high.
Yeah, some good volume coming
Yeah.
through.
All right. Ooh, hang on.
It's better too much than too little, though, on the headsets.
I think that's okay. I had a couple of clicks from your receiver thing, but I think it's all right. Check, check. 1, 2. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there's a little clip there.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good afternoon. Hello and welcome. It is Olympic Village this afternoon for...
Yeah, I could turn it down a little bit, I think. I might turn... Sec. Yeah, I'm just getting a few little funny bits out of these effects mics. So make sure that's off, and then... Alright, sorry, can we just try again? Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10!
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I'll turn you down a little bit. Go on.
Hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good afternoon. Heidelberg United, Nunawading City, Olympic Village.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's better balance now.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, hello and welcome. Dockerty Cup semi-final day arrives here. The first of two big semi-finals today. Heidelberg United, the mighty team from the top tier of Victorian football, looking down from the top of the tree on Nunawading City from Victoria's third tier, the VPL2 side, coming out to contend for a spot in the final against the might of Heidelberg. Steve Curtin and Josh Parrish with you for this one this afternoon. Looking forward to bringing you all the action on the Football Victoria live stream this afternoon. The teams are out on the park and we are just about to get underway here as the referee, Jack Morgan, is shaking hands with the Burgers players out there. And for Nunawading, a big opportunity, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, huge. I mean, this is the biggest game of their season so far. They've got a national round game to come. They've got to be mindful of relegation danger now in VPL2 as well, but they've performed so well this season in the big games. We're going to start, though, with a moment's silence for the tragic passing of Keely Lockhart, Heidelberg United NPLW legend who tragically passed away a week ago. Minute silence immaculately observed here at Olympic Village. A sombre occasion in so many ways. Keely's number 9 shirt on display, I believe held by Steph Galea, the captain of the Heidelberg women's team. If you can see from this distance that she will be missed by so many. We'll take you through the starting lineups here for Heidelberg. 3 changes from the side that defeated Altona Magic by 2-0 last week. Chokdow comes into the starting lineup alongside new signing Akil Raffi in midfield. Ryan Govan starts between the sticks. He's been the cup keeper for Heidelberg United this season at the expense of Yaron Souza, who drops to the bench. So too Mohamed Aidara and Max Bassetto. Jamal Ali, Ben Collins, Ryan Leflin and Fletcher Fulton in the back line. Anthony Lesiotis and Asahi Yokikawa in midfield. Sabit Nior and Buljuach in attack alongside Dow. On the bench today, alongside Ardara, Souza and Basetto, Jay McGowan, who provided a match-winning assist against Altona last week, against Arts on the Pine, Anthony Theodoropoulos too, and Peter Clarkson comes in for Frank Ross. For Nunawading, 3 changes from the team that went down to Altona City 2-1 last week in VPL 2. To the bench, Nicholas Apostolopoulos and Andrew Vichilio. Massio Jones is cup-tied and therefore ineligible. In comes Christian Carvalho, Harris Hodzic and James Reardon, along with Christian Pavlidis between the sticks, Fuki Ishibashi and Kane O'Connor in defence, Felix Dimitrakis, Carlos Aboud in midfield, Alex Kubenko, Stewie Edgar and Alex Dimitriou are the front line. Edgar, perhaps the man to watch after his double against Hume City in round 7. Filippo Gioffre, Dennis Deluri, Tyra Yoshimura and Jed McCartney are the other options available on the bench for Steve Vasukas. And we are underway here at Olympic Village. It's a rehearsed kickoff routine from Nunawading straight into the corner. They're in the pale blue and white, kicking from right to left. Heidelberg United in the familiar yellow and black, Steve.
Yeah, Nunawading City, the boys from Marnie's Reserve, getting us underway with a fairly direct fashion there. Ball out of play straight away, so a chance for Heidelberg to come the other way. But yeah, certainly a sombre feel around the venue with that moment silence for Keely Lockhart. Her shirt out there being held by club captain Steph Galea of the MPLW side. Some pictures of her and great memories of her on the big screen here as well. So hats off to everyone at Heidelberg for putting on a special tribute to one of the top players, as Heidelberg are on the attack early through Sebit Noor. He's just tripped on the ball a little bit. Playing it back to the new signing in Raffi, and it's repelled by that Nunawading defence. They're going to have their hands full this afternoon, you fancy, this Nunawading defence, with this star-studded attacking line that features the likes of the leading scorer from the MPL, Buljuach, also Sebit Noor. Chok Dow coming into the lineup too. Asahi Yokokawa is dangerous from midfield. There's so many attacking weapons in this Heidelberg side, Josh.
Yeah, it's a daunting lineup when you're a VPL2 team looking at this star-studded team, and they knit together so well. Bit of a cynical foul from Raffi early on.
We've got 2 players in sky blue down at the same time.
And Dimitri went down under the challenge. That's Carlos Aboud as well. And he pulled up a little worse for wear after getting in a tangle with Sabit Nior.
Such an excitement machine Carlos Aboud has been in the cup competition so far this season. We talked about in the pre-game as well, Josh, the amount of goals they've been scoring as well. They've scored 4 goals in 3 of their 5 cup games, and in one of the other 2 matches where they didn't score they scored 7. So they've had no problems finding the back of the net, this Nunawading City side, against their opponents so far. But as we said, this is a different test altogether against the might of Heidelberg United, and their captain, Ben Collins, gets the ball rolling from the throw into Ryan Govan, who gets the chance, as he did in the last round of the Cup against Northcote City, which was another comprehensive and professional performance. Here's Fletcher Fulton holding his place as the left back. And also left lean. So no change to the back 4 for John Anastasiadis this afternoon. Chok Dow lining up as the left winger, so something a little bit different there. That position has been held down by Max Basetto in recent times, something that he's made his own since coming across Olympic Village in the off-season.
Be interesting to see how they fare today without Idara in midfield. He's been an ever-present.
It's a really good opportunity for Akel Raffi to show his wares from the start as well. He's been used last week at Altona as a substitute, and he certainly made some impact as well as the other new signing, Ross, who's not out there today.
It's Chok Dow turning on the afterburners, and he's going to keep this in. Nunawading want a free kick. Jack Morgan signals for a corner instead. A few irate complaints from the visiting players. Asahi Yokokawa to take. Taken over the number 10 shirt number in recent weeks.
The old mid-season shirt number change, something you might associate more with the lower grades of Victorian football.
Well, he's got 7 goals this year. I think he's earned it. Playmaker in chief as he whips it into the near post. Headed away by Carvalho. as far as Lesiotis. Funnels it out to Yokokawa again. Floating ball in. Might sit for Collins. Couldn't get the shot away. Nor could Sabit Nyor.
Well, good pressure on the ball so far for Nunawading City. Not allowing the likes of this man on the ball here. Lesiotis, dangerous from distance. The opportunity to shoot from the second ball from the corner there. So that'll impress Steve Vasukas. No doubt that's what he will have sent them out with, those exact instructions to not show too much time and stand back and respect these Heidelberg players. Respect them in the most possible, most respectable way, but also to close down any opportunities that they have. And that's what they've done so far. All the sky blue shirts behind the ball here. This is the left lean. Shockdow picking up possession a fair bit in the opening moments of this one. This is Rafi. He's got Jamal Ali out wide. Jamal Ali with 2 to beat. Here's Rafi. Heidelberg just comfortable in moving the ball from left to right across the park. We saw that last week in the league against Altona Magic against a deep set defence. They back themselves to find a way through, and even if it takes up until the 70th or 80th minute, there's something of inevitability about them. They know they're going to find a goal at some point, and that's what's certainly played a big role in their record streak of unbeaten matches so far in 2025.
It's now going to the byline again. Hooked away by O'Connor. Nunawading are going to have to be careful about sitting off too much here, as they are the underdogs, but Heidelberg are the premier teams in picking apart teams who sit deep. A little late from Lesiotis. Jack Morgan trying to calm things down. It's Aboud who's hit the deck.
Second time Aboud's been on the floor this afternoon already. They've gone 6 minutes here, so the trainer is out for Aboud at the moment, so slight delay in play.
I think Lesiotis is going to go into the book here for showing his studs. Yes, indeed, the game's first yellow card brandished. Just lost control of the ball. It was a slightly nasty one as he slid in. No malicious intent, but a bit careless from Anthony Lesiotis.
Just a little bit late and full-blooded in the eyes of referee Jack Morgan.
Very early booking in this one. Reardon. Return ball. Looking for Dimitriou down the left. Collins covers that channel. Oh, and it's a bad back pass from Collins. It's picked off by Edgar. The cutback is intercepted by Fulton. It might fall for Edgar again. Sloppy at the back from Heidelberg. Ball spilled through for a Nunawading throw. An early scare for the NPL Victoria League leaders.
That's a really good moment for Nunawading City, and as we've seen against the likes of Hume City in the previous round of the Cup, they're not afraid of the big dogs in Victorian football, winning the ball back high up the pitch, and they had the numbers to just about capitalise too. That one could have fallen to Christian Cavallo at the top of the box in another set of circumstances. The ball comes in across the face of the goal, and it's going to eventually fall for Govan, but lurking dangerously was the leading scorer in the league, Alex Kubinko, at the back post.
Collins. Trying to find Nyor. Back with Ali. Cleverly done by Akil Rafi. He sets Nyor away. Ishibashi came sliding in and didn't get there. Nyor centers the ball. Duach on the spin. He had Choctaw waiting free as a bird at the far post. Decided to shoot himself. It's knocked back to the goalkeeper. Oh, Nunawading were almost away on the counter-attack in a flash.
Well, it all opened up there for Heidelberg really quickly. Christian Pavlidis thought about coming off his line, decided not to in the end. And some good defending by Kane O'Connor there to get back, and he was fully committed. It's him playing the ball forward here into the corner, looking for Kubinko.
Well, you can't blame Buljuach for taking on the shot himself. He scored 17 goals in the league this season, 18 in all competitions. Did have a couple of free teammates waiting with their arms aloft. All stemmed from that clever pass around the corner from Rafi.
Well, here's Ali. This is the side that Heidelberg have been dangerous from in the last few minutes of this one. The ball for Bourgeois was overhit, though. So it looks like it's Harris Hodgic. We've seen him lining up in central defence. Looks like he's lining up. He's out in the right back position at the moment. Certainly a bit of fluidity about the way that this Nunawading team lines up, and it's good to see. Interesting tactician is their manager, Steve Vasoukas. They've lost possession here. Bourgeois bearing down on goal as Bourgeois. Good save by Pavlidis. Spread himself well, made himself big, and denied the NPL Victoria top scorer.
Big moment for the former Heidelberg player, Christian Pavlidis.
Textbook goalkeeping, really, you have to say, looking back at it too. I wonder if Bourgeois just thinking he might have done better.
Spread himself really well there, Pavlidis, and covered the angle. It's a huge chance, of course, for the leading goal scorer in the NPL. But it's just automatic, isn't it, from Yokokawa, those through balls.
So quickly, so direct.
He just spins so quickly, and he always knows where the striker is. Very similar assist he gave to Juach away at BT Connor Reserve against Preston a few weeks ago. Here he is again, Yokokawa. He's too sharp for the first challenge. The second one deemed legal by Jack Morgan. Left lean into the tackle. Now Dow. Rafi sidestepping Carvalho. You see how narrow Jamal Ali drifts when they're in possession on the left-hand side, Steve. He's almost an extra midfield player.
I think it's that narrow defensive shape as well that Nunawading are employing that's maybe luring him board a little bit more than he might usually be. Yokokawa was shaping for the shot there. The challenge was coming in from Kubenko, and he did well enough to dispossess the Heidelberg number 10. Talking about Yokokawa before, Josh, it's amazing. He must be unmatched at this level, at his ability to receive the ball with his back to goal, make a great first touch and turn and be facing forward, ready to either shoot or play the ball through to the likes of Juach. Sevet Noor in an instant doesn't allow the defenders much time at all. You've got to be really on your toes when Yokokawa is in this kind of mood.
He's so gifted at just waiting in those pockets between defence and midfield. Especially when Heidelberg win the ball back high. He's always free immediately. He's already scanned left and right, knows where his options are. This will surely be a flag up against Kubenko, who gave up on it before the assistant referee had a chance to raise that flag. He was poised to do so. Rafi. Captain Dimitrakis stepping in. Ishibashi out to Reardon. Reardon's pass is deflected, and Heidelberg regain possession.
Well, they've passed the first test, Nunawading. They've got through the first 10, almost 15 minutes without conceding. We don't speak too soon as the ball was played through. Jamal Ali and Sevet Noor were both queuing up right in line with the last man. Such a compact shape. There's not much space between their front two and their back four out of possession here for Nunawading. Out wide is Chokdao. He's been busy down that left-hand side early, enjoying the chance to play in the starting 11 this afternoon. Yokokawa doing some good work out there as well on the Darebin Creek side of the venue, and it's cleared away, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of Nunawading, and there's a healthy round of applause from the Nunawading travelling fans who are gathered over there near the Nunawading substitutes bench on the far side of the venue.
And it's really well done by Harris Hodgic to recover in that situation, get his body between the attacker and the ball and just accept the contact and win the pressure relieving free kick. Put forward by O'Connor. Off the head of Edgar. It's going to spill straight to Raffy. As soon as Heidelberg win it back. Again, Ali joining midfield and attacking line. Right back doesn't quite do justice to how he interprets that position.
He's redefined the position and the role. At least at this level has Jamal Ali. Look at him there. He's in the middle of the park there. He's lining up like a number 10. Here's Yokokawa looking to switch the play. Sevenor was pleading for the switch of play to come his way. He's left to wait for the next opportunity, though. Here's Fulton and Lethlean combining. Passing lanes getting closed down by the boys in the sky blue shirt, so good work by them defensively today. So far, at least. Lesiotis splitting between the two central defenders, and a great ball for Jamal Ali, who was able to turn and get the ball rolling forward. Raffy, now Sebit Noor, a little angled pass in front of Ali. Just lost his footing at the least convenient time. It's going to stay in there for Sebit Noor across the face. It's repelled by that Nunawading defence. Good skill exhibited there by Demetriou. Abood. Maybe playing with fire here, Nunawading, but this is what they pride themselves on. Trying to find solutions, and they do find their way out. So well played the ball through Reardon and Abood, and here's Edgar. Oh, it was well read by Lesiotis. Straight away winning the ball, looking to turn defence into attack.
You can see the midfielders from Heidelberg are attuned now to cover that right back space in transition if they have to, and even use it as a vacated space in build-up when Ali drags his marker away. Such a unique feature of the way Heidelberg play. Heidelberg are just flying at the moment. Got the best defence in the top flight, the third strongest attack. And they've gone 20 games unbeaten in all competitions, which is a record in the NPL era. So since 2014, when the NPL came in, no team has gone 20 games unbeaten in all comps other than Heidelberg. Lethlean. Juach. Rolls it out to Nyor. Into Lesiotis. Lesiotis clips it to the far post. It's a beautifully worked goal from Heidelberg. Asahi Yokokawa applying the finishing touches. That was textbook Burgers football.
And Heidelberg just showing why they're so dangerous there. The point of the attack can switch at any moment, and it's two of their three centre mids combining. Lesiotis, a nice little 7-iron into the top of the 6-yard box. And Asahi Yokokawa, well, there was only going to ever be one outcome once he got on the end of that pass, unmarked in the box. And Asahi Yokokawa, he's got 7 in the league. He's now got 1 in the cup as well to make it 8 in all competitions. What a splendid season he's having. The architect of it all, Anthony Lesiotis, hats off to him as well for his contribution. And, well, they've been brave so far, Nunawading City, but eventually the dam wall had to burst. And this Heidelberg machine keeps on rolling forward and rolling towards a spot in the Dockerty Cup final in a month's time as it stands here at Olympic Village this afternoon with almost 18 minutes gone.
They will be absolutely wrapped with that goal. It all starts with Lethlean making that brave pass, punching it through the lines for Buljuach and getting them up the pitch. And you're finding the bursting forward run of Lesiotis and all the rest you described, Steve. The favourites take the lead. And now Nunawading have to open up and take a risk at some point, which they won't be shy in doing. Club that plasters its clubroom wall with Johan Cruyff, Pep Guardiola and Ange Postecoglou. It's hardly going to shirk from a chance to attack, but they've almost given it away there. Dangerous area. Dimitrakis had to hook it into touch.
Well, that's right, Josh. If the mural and the way they played in this cup competition is anything to go by, they're not going to change their stripes at this point in time just because they've gone 1-0 down. So if you're tuning in on the live stream this afternoon on Football Victoria YouTube. You can certainly expect to enjoy some more good combinations of passing from Nunawading City, even against the toughest opponent that they could face in Victorian football this afternoon. I'll still try and ask questions of this Heidelberg defence when they get the opportunity.
I'll have to win the ball first, Steve. That's the trouble.
They've managed to ride their luck and score a lot of goals from set pieces. There's an Olympico scored 2 rounds ago against North Sunshine Eagles and had at Melbourne's Northwest there as well. So they've found some routes to goal that are maybe not as conventional but devastating at the same time. He's chocked out. Lesiotis to Yokokawa. That combination has already been devastating once this afternoon. Raffi looking for his first goal in club colours in the yellow and black. And he's forced to save out of Pavlidis. He's just taken a touch. Hats off to the tall goalkeeper. Another chance from the set-piece opportunity here for the Burgers.
It's going to be Yokokawa, scorer of the opening goal, over the ball. Ali. Yokokawa winning it back. Fulton. Jamal Ali. Slides it down the line. Yokokawa left lean. Had the goal at his mercy. And couldn't make clean contact.
Well, the big man's looking for his first goal since joining in the off-season, and he couldn't have been much closer there. What a great opportunity for the central defender, Ryan Lethlean. Might have come off his shin pad in the end.
Came in to him at a rate of knots. More hit him than he really had a shot
in front of him too, I fancy. With a half volley.
They've been devastating down that inside right channel, Heidelberg. Lesiotis. Spreading the play to left lean again. Fulton. Dow. Checking back inside. Raffi. Lesiotis. Oh, beautifully dummied by Nyor. And Ali whips it into the danger zone again. Well dealt with by Ishibashi this time. There's a bit of an inquisition going on in the Nunawading defence.
Well, the oohs and the ahs of the home crowd here, they're lapping up this brand of football being played by John Anastasiadis at Heidelberg United this afternoon. Flowing moves down both flanks and through the middle. And here's another one coming up here with Sebet Nor past his man, trying to play the low ball in, and it's a good defensive action that time by Felix Dimitrakis, the defensive midfielder. Wearing the captain's armband, getting back to do the defensive duties there and present Heidelberg a set-piece opportunity from the corner kick. Our goal scorer so far, Sahi Yokokawa, over to take. That's another good opportunity here for Ryan Lethlean, who spurned an opportunity a moment ago. He just about got his head on it. It was over the top of him in the end, and acrobatically, Pavlidis comes and takes.
Yeah, it was well claimed by Pavlidis. Dimitrakis. Into touch. And Heidelberg have just done such a professional job so far. Potential banana skin game, as Hume City found out to their detriments.
Sorry, well, they've taken this one seriously. They not that they didn't take the previous cup match against Northcote City seriously either. They made 6 changes to that one. I think the structure of this being a catch-up round, allowing players to have a normal sort of build up to the match, not playing it midweek. It's a nervy moment here for Ben Collins, who had his clearance charged down by Demetriou. It's not the first time this afternoon that there's been a couple of heart flutters in that Heidelberg back four with giving away the ball maybe a little bit too cheaply, but they got away with that one. And raging forward here, Jamal Ali, and now it's Sevet Noor running at Reardon. Sevet Noor trying to get onto his preferred left foot. He was well held by that Nunawading defence, who got plenty of players back to close down any opportunity for the shot. Here's Lesiotis. Fulton in space over on the far side. Yokokawa thought about playing the ball in early and decided to find Lesiotis. Ali, looks like a number 10 out there now. And it's Bourgeois! Absolute rocket of a shot. In fact, it might have actually been Chok Dow who drifted in from the left wing. It's an absolute rocket off the boot.
Some hit.
Chok Dow, and if that one had have gone in, that might have been the goal of the Dockerty Cup of 2025.
The surface-to-air missile from Chok Dow. Played in by Ali.
Still rising when it hit the advertising hoardings behind the goal.
There's a potential head knock, so Ali will sportingly put the ball out of play.
It's James Reardon who's down. A little bit of discomfort, so we might see the trainer called out here again. Jack Morgan, an experienced referee, is taking care of the situation. He's assisted this afternoon by John White, Didac Lee, and the fourth official, Bailey Panuto. So 26 minutes gone here. If you have just joined us, Asai Yokokawa heading home from 6 yards past Christian Pavlidis. That's the goal that separates the two sides this afternoon.
And that's Ishibashi returning possession after Heidelberg put the ball out of play. For Reardon, who's fine to continue. Yokokawa. Dow came close moments ago. Shimmying this way and that. Gets it back to Yokokawa. Shot is blocked. Ali stops and props and finds the run of Yokokawa. Task for Reardon to clear this danger, and he's conceded a corner. 2 yellow shirts surrounding him. Another set-piece chance for the Burgers.
Well, Nunawading, they're certainly getting plenty of practice defending the set-piece opportunities from this side. Yokokawa over to take again. Of course, Nunawading looking forward to a trip up to Darwin in a week and a half for their Australia Cup National Round of 32 match, so there's plenty to prepare themselves for, even if this one doesn't go their way. In by Yokokawa. Queuing up for it. Ben Collins came through physically and he's given away the foul in the process.
Yeah, high arm, I think. It's clear as day from even our commentary position.
Yeah, Kane O'Connor holding his ground well there and getting to the ball first. Despite the footsteps of the big man Ben Collins charging at him.
It's a clever back heel from Dow. Couldn't quite keep it in play.
Almost shades of Marco Tilio at Amy Park. Not quite.
Thinking the same thing, Steve. Pavlidis slipped as he took that one. Easy take for Ali.
The pitch looks a pitcher, but it is a little heavier out there than as evidenced by the amount of players who have gone to ground.
Collins finding the feet of Yokokawa. Now Nuor. Nuor going at Reardon.
Well played, Reardon.
That's very well defended. Right. One of the Nunawading juniors in the lineup today. They're very proud of having some of their graduates from as young as under 10s or under 12s come through all the way to the senior team. Some have had brief stints away from the club but have returned. Rafi. Lesiotis. Left lean. Yokokawa. Up to Dow. Lesiotis. There's Fulton in support. Raffi. Exchanging passes with Lesiotis. Too many blue shirts in the way. Ricochets back out to left lane. Heidelberg building gradually. Impatiently. Cavallo. A boot. And Dimitrakis goes back to his goalkeeper, who's under the pump immediately. Dimitrakis. Out to Hodzic. Finding the feet of Aboud. The move breaks down. And there was a bit of contact from Lesiotis on Christian Cavallo there. He's back up to his feet, thankfully, as Heidelberg just pause. Oh, and now Yokokawa tries to catch the keeper off his line. Now, that was audacious.
Really caught us off guard up here as well, Josh. That was from an awfully long way out as well. Just mentioned Christian Cavallo going to ground. He's back up on his feet. A little bit frustrated, but he's the kind of player that Nunawading need to get on the ball, and he's been a little bit too quiet by as far as the Nunawading fans tuning in this afternoon would be concerned. Over on the far side there is Kubinko, but he couldn't bring it under his spell, and now Raffi has the opportunity to get the ball going forward for Heidelberg. But again, it's that patient approach that's been a feature of their play so far this season. Just build up slowly before they go for the big crescendo and the sweeping move at the end. And this time it's Fulton winning a corner from the far side over there, the Darebin Creek side of the venue. And once again, everyone back for Nunawading, including their number 9, Stewie Edgar, back in the penalty area to defend this opportunity for the Burgers, who Nunawading certainly don't want to risk going too behind.
I am surprised, though, that they're committing every player back. It tends to invite more pressure on you because Heidelberg don't have to leave anyone on the halfway line. See how far even the defenders they've left in reserve are up the pitch. They're in shooting range. Yokokawa's ball in. Pavlidis underneath it. Slaps it away. Ali. Muir out to Raffi. Raffi back to Lesiotis. Well dealt with by Reardon. Edgar tries to get the counter-attack started for Nunawading. This is Kabenko, who's wound up on the left flank. There's Demetriou in support. Cuts inside. Back to Cavallo. It's Yokokawa arriving. Heidelberg back in their defensive shape now. Chance for Nunawading to build something, though. Reardon kept it in play. Ishibashi. Slip from Hodzic. And a late whistle from Jack Morgan. A few boos and jeers ring around Olympic Village.
The home fans not too pleased, but most thankful out there is the 11 Nunawading players who, well, they were looking like having a forward foray. We saw Heidelberg dropping into their defensive shape out of possession. It felt so foreign. We've hardly seen that at all this afternoon, at least for a moment. But again, they're pressing high up the park here as well to try and win the ball back before it reaches their own half. But they managed to play through the press here. Oh, and it almost broke for Demetriou. Not sure if Aboud got a touch on that ball, but promising moment for Nunawading, of which there's been too few. Going down off the ball is Ben Collins, who had an incidental collision with Christian Cavallo, who protests his innocence.
Jack Morgan just giving Cavallo a word of warning. Cavallo, a former top flight player, of course, with Bentley and Dandenong Thunder. 4 injuries have derailed his career somewhat. Great to see him back playing. He's Nunawading's top scorer in the Cup this year. Hasn't scored a league goal yet. He saves it for the big nights.
Like a good cup specialist. He's also been reinvigorated as an attacking midfielder as well after being that left back role or left wing back earlier in his career. It's always good to see that renaissance in the career arc of a player.
I think the injuries might have taken some of the physicality and speed out of his game, but they haven't taken the technique away. Moving him inside into a creative midfield role makes sense.
Still very good on set pieces as well with that really devastating left foot. That's a good header by Reardon, who's maybe been fighting out of his weight division today, but he's done really well so far.
I think we're contractually obligated to describe it as cultured, Steve, if it's a left foot.
Yeah. Look at Ali here with the footwork in the space of a phone box. Here he goes again. Jamal Ali, he's going to switch the play out wide. Here's Fulton. He's got Shockdow ahead of him. He's got a bunch of options. He might even go his own way. Oh, he was looking for Sebit Noor. He was in a bit of space, but the pass was well intercepted. So again, hats off to that Nunawading defence for being able to win the ball back and then try and turn defence into attack. Again here through Demetriou. He's got a couple of options at the back post, including Cavallo, who he couldn't find him at all. The move breaks down, so some promising moments, but unable to really execute in the final third so far, Nunawading, when they have come.
Yeah, disappointing for Nunawading there. They really just needed a ball in behind for Edgar to contest. Instead, Dimitri wrong-foots his teammates. Yokokawa slides it through again. That one overcooked slightly, but it's just automatic. Half turn. Immediately, he's looking for the through ball for Buljuac, who's thrived on that service all season.
The other thing about those Nunawading attacks is we've seen this season, they're so good at getting that front five, the front three front men and the two number eights getting involved in the attack. So although they haven't really executed in the final third, they're getting the numbers forward, and that's promising. As you can see here again, a lot of sky blue shirts charging forward, but decision goes against Nunawading here again.
Looks like a yellow card's been shown to Akil Rafi. Maybe it was the earlier foul in the piece. Has the ball not gone out since then?
That's a bewildering one there, right in front of us.
I think, Steve, almost two Nunawading counter-attacks ago, there was a late challenge from Rafi that was advantage paid from Jack Morgan. My theory is that the ball has just not gone out since then, and Morgan hasn't forgotten about it. Memory of an elephant.
I don't want to play a memory game against Jack Morgan.
Mind like a steel trap. I completely forgot about that tackle. Jack Morgan didn't.
It's not good news for the players out there. They might get away with one as well. 2 or 3 phases of play you go. Here's Edgar all the way back to Pavlidis. Slices the clearance bit on the left foot. Flicked on by that man Edgar. An inadvertent 1-2 between the striker and the goalkeeper. It's working in heavy traffic here. Edgar well played by the big man, but Fulton cuts out the through ball. And here's a bit of space for Rafi, the new signing, charging through the middle of Olympic Village. And Ali's just shown a heavy touch to his fellow number 4, Ishibashi. Cavallo's touch. Again, the move breaks down in the final third for Nunawading. Shockdow getting to the cross into the box. Buljuac was there. Oh, it's just about away by Reardon. Only as far as Lesios off the crossbar. Did that cross the line? It looked like it might have from here. We shift our eyes to the assistant referee to see his flag staying down, not signalling the goal. We'll catch that one again on our replay screen, Josh, and I fancy that had to be millimetres in it. We might even need the old bit of footage from Robbie Slater to see if that ball did cross the line or not, because that was millimetres in it.
Oh, just the way it bounced. Looked like it might have
bounced over the line and back out again. It does look like that.
Yeah, it has to be all of the ball over all of the line, of course, and if the official's not sure, they can't give it, but that one looks like a bit of a Frank Lampard to me.
And it happened so quickly as well. Well, look at that header off the ground by Reardon there. He's been all action this afternoon, the Nunawading left back. Here's Edgar, a little bit of space for him. Cavallo plays it across the face to no one in particular. Well, Reardon there, he was lying on his front. Managed to continue his aerial prowess from ground level. Look at this shot again from Lesiotis. The instep attempts
That's
off
a goal,
the underside
Steve.
of the crossbar. It looks like
with the benefit
a large
of
portion of the ball may have been across the line.
with the benefit of ultra slow mo, I'd wager that's a goal.
Got Chris on stats here this afternoon, who fancies it might have been just about over the line as well. James behind the camera, giving the best look at the action from the comfort of your own home this afternoon. And if you're a Heidelberg fan, you'll be lapping up the quality of football that they're playing as Shockdow is looking to find a way through. Lesiotis, who has an assist and maybe a ghost goal as well, or a phantom goal. Ridden.
Well, he had a ghost goal given in the Dandenong Derby a month or so ago, which subsequent VO footage, the Zapruder film confirmed, actually shouldn't have been given as a goal. So maybe the memo's gone out to the referees. You've got to be sure.
Got to be sure, that's right.
And I mean, we weren't sure until we slowed it down to 25% speed.
Well, the speed of the shot, the pace that he generated, and it was only an instep shot too. It appeared it wasn't out of the laces either. But he can hit a ball. That's what we've seen this season, especially from Lesiotis. Scored one of the goals of the season on the opening night as Heidelberg went down at the Melbourne Knights. You wouldn't believe that was a scoreline from this year if you looked at that one now.
Yeah, it's crazy that Heidelberg have lost 2 games all season, and one of them was against the bottom team in the competition. It was round 1 before we knew Heidelberg would grow into this dominant force. And a lot of question marks around their back line. Ryan Govan was in goals that night. It was probably an evening to forget for him. Yeah, Yokokawa going down off the ball. Collision with O'Connor.
Hopefully Yokokawa's been okay here. That's been a feature of Heidelberg as well, like all good teams that go on a run. A clean bill of health relating to their injury list. A lot of players who've featured in all 21 or 20 of their league appearances out there in the matchday squad again today.
Our cameras didn't catch the off-the-ball collision, so we're none the wiser.
Not too long to half-time now. It is Yokokawa, the man who's down, whose goal separates the two sides this afternoon. And Heidelberg United have got 1 foot in the Dockerty Cup final at the moment, which is to be played in 4 weeks' time. Now the match coming your way on the Football Victoria live stream at 6 o'clock this evening. South Melbourne hosting Avondale at Lakeside Stadium. Big double-header. Dockerty Cup semi-final Saturday. Yokokawa is being assisted over to the touchline. Heidelberg substitutes are all remaining seated at the moment. They'll be going through their warm-up routines over the half-time break. And some handy players at the disposal of John Anastasiadis this afternoon. Moe Dara, Jay McGowan, Anthony Theodoropoulos, Peter Claassen, Max Bassetto. The outfield options available.
Idara, the logical replacement. Maybe a more conservative midfielder, but you could push perhaps Rafi further forward.
Well, hats off to the facilities manager here at Olympic Village, who's just switched on our reading lamp for us. Thank you very much. We've been looked after very well this afternoon.
I feel like I'm spotlit now, Steve. The attention right on us. All right, all the attention on the pitch as we head into the dying throes of the first half. Nunawading roll the dice with a long switch of play. They earned a corner for their troubles. They haven't.
Maybe the assistant referee over there could have just pointed that one to the corner flag to make things interesting leading in. No, of course not. Leading into the half-time break. So Ryan Govan, who hasn't had too much to do this afternoon, no saves to make. And he's not going to take the goal kick himself either.
Well, it's very in vogue to have your centre-back take the goal kick to the goalkeeper these days.
As we've seen just there.
Work out too well for Heidelberg on that occasion. Oh, Choctaw's done incredibly well to win that. He was not favourite for that ball. Nyor. Ali. Back to Dow. Fulton. Fulton around the outside. Sliding challenge came in from O'Connor. No nonsense from the Scotsman.
Fulton's got a couple of goals in the cup competition so far this season. You'd be too surprised if you saw him getting on the end of a third in this particular semi-final this afternoon. And here's the opportunity coming across towards the run of Sebit Noor. He's off target the pass though, and maybe there's one more chance here for Nunawading to try and conjure something up. Dimitrakis' ball forward, looking for Dimitriou, and there's too much on it. Govan can get his step count up a little bit more here. So at the last minute of regulation first half time, Steve Curtin and Josh Parrish here with you for the Dockerty Cup semi-final this afternoon, as that one runs all the way through to Pavlidis, who's, well, he's been quite good in goal, I have to say.
One great stop from Buljuach early in the contest. 1v1.
1-on-1.
Spread himself so well. A strong right arm.
Certainly keeping them in the game with saves like that.
And Nunawading are in this game. It might have been one-way traffic in this first half, but Heidelberg only 1-0 up. Anthony Lesiotis will surely be complaining it should have been 2. 1 minute's gone up on the fourth official's board to end the first half. Hodzic chasing this one down and winning a throw deep in enemy territory. Abood running up in support. Cavallo leaves the pass short and Yokikawa steals in. Good to see he's back fit and firing after that injury delay. Rafi slides that one through for Ali. Jamal Ali on the charge. Past one challenge to the byline. Oh, the nutmeg from Ali. Still he goes on. Nyor sliced it away. Well off target, and that will end the first half. One for the highlight reel for Jamal Ali. That was street football stuff from one of the league's most exciting players. And Heidelberg have a deserved advantage at the break. Asahi Yokikawa with the goal after a clipped cross from Anthony Lesiotis to the back post. He was left unopposed with the header. A second effort from Lesiotis from well outside the box. Pile driver off the underside of the crossbar. Looked to have potentially crossed the line.
Let's go.
Body on body contact. He kept going and kept going, and well, Heidelberg, as you'd expect, they've performed in a similar way to what we'd expected, I suppose. Slightly shuffling the pack, 3 changes to the side, playing that same vein of football. Nunawading, they've brought their best that they can defensively, but it's going forward where they've fallen down this afternoon, and they're going to need to change that in the second 45.
Half-time at Olympic Village. The score is Heidelberg United 1, Nunawading City 0 in the Dockerty Cup semi-final.
Hello and welcome back to Olympic Village. Second half about to get underway, and Heidelberg United leading this one. They've got 1 foot in the final. Sahi Yokokawa heading home from 6 yards to convert a perfect cross from Anthony Lesiotis. Lesiotis just about adding a second. His shot that bounced off the underside of the crossbar and the goal line was adjudged not to have crossed the line, and that means that Nunawading is still within a goal of the NPL League leaders, the boys from the VPL2. Still in this one. 45 minutes to play here. Thanks for your company on the Football Victoria live stream this afternoon. Steve Curtin and Josh Parrish, and we're back underway with Heidelberg United playing the ball forward to halftime substitute Jay McGowan. There's a couple of changes for Heidelberg at halftime. Sahi Yokokawa has gone off for Mo Aidara. There's one of them. Heidelberg attacking the southern end, or the left of your screen, in their second 45. The other change is Sevet Noor, who has left the field of play at half-time as well for Jay McGowan.
I think that reflects the confidence with which Johnny A is approaching this second half. They're in command, they're in control, they can afford to shuffle their pack a little bit. I was going to say give some of the bench players a chance. Adara has been anything but that, but he gets a chance to stretch his legs and maybe get further forward. Jay McGowan played a decisive role off the bench against Altona and is rewarded with 45 minutes here.
Mo Aidara, 21 appearances in the league this season and ever present, and Jay McGowan, he's provided impact when needed to off the bench as well. It's a big part of Heidelberg's squad, the depth of players who are willing to do their time sitting on the pine and then still come on and make an impact and be a part of it. Jay McGowan definitely doing that, coming on to good effects against the Oakley Cannons down at Jack Edwards when they got the win down there earlier this season.
And it was the theme that John Anastasiadis was returning to in his post-match interview last week, which is you can't win anything with 11 players. You can win something with 20 players. He wants his substitutes to know that they are a core part of what they're trying to achieve, giving them a good run out in their second half. And go some way to demonstrating that as Ali slips it through. Be a comfortable claim for Christian Pavlidis, whose connection to Heidelberg runs deep. He's not only a former player, but his father is the GM here at Heidelberg.
So plenty of connections between these two clubs, but it's no love lost out in the middle there, because I think one of them can make the final of the Dockerty Cup here in 2025. It's quite remarkable, a club of Heidelberg's stature and success. They've only won the Dockerty Cup just the once in 2017, so they're very keen to make it number 2 this year in 2025. Here's Reardon playing forward. Edgar dropping deep to pick up possession. Using that big frame to good effect to hold off McGowan. Abood. And now Reardon. This is a bright start to the second half here for the boys in Sky Blue. Reardon tries to get the ball in. And the header falls to Edgar. He couldn't control it on the first opportunity. Dow is competing for it with Hodzic. Hodzic keeping the pressure on. Still he gives chase. Does Harris Hodzic. Versatile player. We've seen him line up in the centre of defence this season. He's lining up as the right back today, but he's pressing right up the park, and he's given away the foul here. Sliding in late on Anthony Lefleen. I'm trying to say Ryan Lefleen. So plenty of pressure there, and it's a yellow ticket for his troubles there, does Harris Hodzic.
Yeah, it was a rash challenge as well. Nunawading had Heidelberg hemmed in there. You didn't really need to make that foul. Counterproductive from Hodzic. And a yellow card to boot, as you say. So Lefleen over the free kick. Wants Lesiotis to offer short. They will attempt to play their way out, baiting the press of Nunawading. Carvalho puts it into touch. Fulton. Leftley flips it up to Juaj. Well, Ishibashi was certain. that Buljuach was offside, and the assistant referee on the opposite flank agrees with him. Shibashi. Dimitrakis. Aboud. Back to Pavlidis. Fulton. Choctaw trying to skip away from the challenge. Well covered by Dimitrakis. And the return from Lesiotis was a touch too heavy. Nunawading regained possession. Interesting to see how Steve Vasukas chooses to use his bench. Heidelberg already making that double change. Lesiotis rides the challenge and eventually draws the free kick and the yellow card for Carlos Aboud.
So a couple of players from Nunawading going into the book in almost as many minutes. Anthony Lesiotis does like to hit them from distance. This might be almost too far out for even he. And if there's anyone out there of hitting an absolute cleat rocket, as the Americans might say, he is the man. Looks like he's shaping up to dink this one into the back post area. Show you the likes of Ben Collins or Ryan Lethlean, perhaps. That's Lesiotis floating it into the back post area. Well played Ishibashi to get the clearance. Fulton on the follow-up. Away by Reardon now, and it's going to just about trickle out of play in front of the Heidelberg technical area on the far side. So just a bit of a lull falling across Olympic Village. First 6 minutes of this second half. Ishibashi, not sure if he was trying to clear that one out of play. It went straight up in the air. McGowan now, the half-time substitute, away by Ishibashi again. Tries to get as much distance on the clearance as he can, but there wasn't a lot of momentum on the ball in the first place, and it's going to be a Nunawading throw. You mentioned, Josh, about Steve Vasukas' opportunities to use some of those substitutes. Nicholas Apostolopoulos, Andrew Vasilio, Filippo Joffre, Dennis Deluri, another good attacking option perhaps we might see. Tairo Yoshimuri are the outfield options available.
This is Idara. Out to McGowan. Opportunity to cross for McGowan. Lovely shape on it. And Choctaw almost got there in time. Fulton forward to gather on the far side. Being marshalled by Hodzic. Back to Lethlean. Lesiotis. Ali. Combining with Lesiotis. Choctaw slips it through. Buljuach is onside and round the goalkeeper. And it was all too easy for Heidelberg. Buljuach scores yet again. And that is a remarkable scoring record for Buljuach. 7 goals in his last 7 appearances in all competitions.
Well, he's just so consistent in front of goal, whether it be from open play or from 12 yards, one-on-one with the keeper. And he gets his second goal in the cup competition this year. His last one coming in the 5th round of the competition when Heidelberg beats Hampton East Brighton. Buljuach on the score sheet that day. On the score sheet here again against Nunawading City from the VPL 2. And it's a 2-goal cushion now for Heidelberg United, the team that is sitting on the top of the tree in Victorian football, looking like they're going to be potentially doing so in all competitions of Victorian football this year in 2025, the way things are going. There's an opportunity here for Kubenko. He was charging forward, but the challenge came in and he loses his footing. The header was by O'Connor. Ishibashi. Well, perhaps the pressure might be off Nunawading a little bit here and they can just go and play their natural game and maybe find a way to get a goal to not only add some consolation, but to maybe arguably get themselves back into the contest here as well. But they won't do it with passes like that, and that one's picked up by the most recent goal scorer, Bourgeois. Left lean and all the way back to Govan, who gets his first touch of the second 45.
I'm not wild about the way Nunawading have come out to start the second half. They don't look confident. Heidelberg is skipping through again. Jack Morgan was just waiting for the advantage before brandishing the yellow card for Kane O'Connor.
So they picked up 3 yellow cards in the opening minutes of this second half. They feel like they're not quite at the races.
They've come out with aggression, but they haven't channeled that aggression in the right way. Now they've got those 3 players walking the tightrope. Heidelberg really want to win this competition. Amazingly, John Anastasiadis has won it more often than Heidelberg has in their history. He's got 2 Dockerty Cups to his name as a coach. Heidelberg have only won it the once. Could that change this year? Would they be about to sweep all before them? Got 1 foot in the Dockerty Cup final already. We'll find out whether it'll be South Melbourne or Avondale making it to the big dance this evening. That one a 6 p.m. kickoff at Lakeside. As Idara rolls it through for Duach, who's rampaging down the right. Duach to the byline. Ishibashi made a great challenge. Reardon. He's looking for Carvalho, but Akil Raffi blocked off the passing route. And McGowan sizes up his options. Sends Leslie Otis wide. He's been everywhere today. Key role in that second goal. Assist for the first. Left lean. Good, lovely switch of play. And how's your touch, Jay McGowan? Checks in fields. Leslie Otis. And then a snapshot from Choctaw as well blocked. There was power behind that again.
Good block, O'Connor there. Not the first time we've seen him do that this afternoon. That one was hit like a tracer bullet there from Choctaw. Here is that man, O'Connor, trying to find a way forward. It's a high press now from Heidelberg. 4 players at the front of the pressing block, very high up the park. Looking to win the ball back quickly and really go for the jugular. The fresh legs of Moe Dara, who could easily be a professional marathon runner if he wasn't a footballer, covering so much turf out there. Certainly make it nerve-wracking for these defenders trying to play out from their own defensive third here for Nunawading, but that's Heidelberg back in possession through left lean.
Looks like Steve Vasoukas may have seen enough. I think it's Dennis Deluri who's been sent to warm up on the far side. We're seeing a change sooner rather than later. Nuna.
I guess it's a sort of coaching that we've seen from Steve Vasoukas. He's not going to die wondering, and he's going to try and find a way to get the best out of his players and get themselves into this game somehow, even if it does look a little bit dead and buried right now. It's forward by Reardon, out of play for a Heidelberg throw, so just trouble getting the ball up the park at the moment, really pinned back in their own half. Could Dennis Deluri make the difference and be a bit of a focal point that helps them get up into the final third? McGowan has been really good since coming on at half-time. Duach trying to bring it under his control. He's got Fulton in a bit of space. Fletcher Fulton cuts into on his preferred right foot. And it's a great save by Pavlidis. Choctaw on the follow-up, makes it 3. What a fine finish. Fulton's shot blocked. Dow puts it away. And it's Heidelberg United, the team that wears the maillot jaune. They are well and truly top of the general classification in Victorian football right now.
Oh, they've just wreaked havoc in this second half. Nunawading have not coped with them whatsoever. Choctaw deserves a goal for his performance this afternoon. Fletcher Fulton with the initial attempt. It was a great save by Pavlidis. Fulton, a winger by trade. He's only been converted to left back this season as a makeshift option and relishing the chance to get forward. It took a little deflection too off O'Connor, who nearly made another key block in defence. But the ball ricochets in off the far post, just grazing it on its way in.
It was a great save from Pavlidis to deny Fulton. Full stretch with his right hand, tipping it away, but there was no stopping that second one, as you say, right in off the paint of the post. Right in the corner.
Third goal in the cup this season for Choctaw. He's yet to score in the league for Heidelberg, but he's been prolific in the knockout tournament.
Well, looks like a triple change is being readied on the far side for Steve Vasukis, but the horse might have bolted by now, but still an opportunity to get some match minutes into these players. A side that will travel to Darwin for the Australia Cup National Round of 32. It's an exciting fixture coming up for Nunawading City. So all is not lost here this afternoon if they are to go down in a blaze of glory or just a blaze of flames at the moment.
Well, many teams, even higher up the pyramid than they, have suffered the same fate at Olympic Village. Heidelberg are just so dominant at home. Kicked over the top in the direction of Kubenko. Would Nunawading reply through their leading scorer? Still Alex Kubenko. Shifting this way and that. Couldn't find a passing angle. Picked off by Lesiotis. Dara springs forward. Cavallo brings him to ground. And it gives Nunawading the chance to make those changes.
Well, it's a quadruple change.
It's a platoon swap.
Our NFL fans on the stream, eat your heart out.
Cavallo's going to be one of those players replaced. Aboud's going to the bench as well. Dimitriou off. And James Reardon off as well. Bit surprised by that last one. I thought he was one of their better players.
Really solid at left back as Reardon this afternoon.
Fresh legs, the order of the day. Who's come on for Nunawading? More like who hasn't come on for Nunawading. Deluri, as we mentioned.
Deluri lining up on the far side of midfield by the looks of it.
Yep, Yoshimura.
I assume it's Vasilio going on at left back.
Correct, and I think that's Apostolopoulos is going to play in midfields. Have seen him at fullback this season as well.
Yeah, looks like it is, as you've mentioned there, Josh. Here he is pressuring the ball now as Heidelberg want to move this freshly rejuvenated Nunawading 11 from one side of the pitch to the other.
I feel a bit sorry for Filippo Giuffre as the one outfield player who hasn't come on. You've got to keep one in reserve, though, for a potential injury.
He's been impressive when he's got the opportunity in the Cup as well. Has Nunawading City's number 8, Filippo Giuffre. Runs hard in midfield, likes to support the attack. He'll have to just bide his time a little longer before he gets the chance to do that this afternoon. Well, Heidelberg have come out of the dressing rooms at half-time with a full head of steam. They've scored 2 since the break. Here's Ali, a familiar goal scorer this season, is the right back. Jack Morgan's given Nunawading the free kick here, and they can get it going quickly. Yoshimura, the substitute, directing the traffic ahead of him, not wasting any time in playing the direct ball, looking at fellow substitute Dennis Deluri. And it was easily cut out by Jamal Ali. Raffi. Fleet of foot, but his pass is cut out there well by Vasilio. What if Nunawading got up their sleeve here? Vasilio get a good ball in here, perhaps. It's cut out well by Raffi.
It might have escaped our attention, Steve. Heidelberg made another change as well. Not with Nunawading bringing on 4 players. What to keep up with, but Anthony Theodoropoulos has come on in midfield.
Looks like he's lining up in that number 10 role there. He scored the goal against Northcote City in the last round of the Cup.
I think Anthony Lesiotis has got a deserved, well-earned break. He's
like
been outstanding today.
Good move, he was great. Should have had a goal, perhaps. Definitely had an assist. Had a yellow card too, so that might have impacted the decision as well.
Johnny A just keeping his powder dry for a busy fixture list coming up. They've got Western Bears in the Cup, round of 32 here at Olympic Village, alongside a slew of league fixtures, of course. It looks like they're going to be playing in the Dockerty Cup final.
No days off coming up for the Burgers. Here's Edgar. He's got Deluri providing the overlap. Sets him a task. He's going to get there just about. No, Collins has read this one best. Using his body well, as we've seen him do on umpteen occasions.
I think Heidelberg would fancy themselves to beat Western Bears at home as well, so probably future rounds of the Cup are a strong possibility.
I suppose it's a bonus that they have drawn the Western Bears here at home. A little bit less travel to sandwich in between weekend league fixtures.
Nunawading not so lucky. Although a away trip to Darwin, I think they were pretty happy with that, but judging by their reaction on the live draw.
It's great footage seeing when they got drawn out to head up to Darwin. Larrakia Park fixture against Darwin Olympic coming up on Tuesday the 22nd of July. The boys were ecstatic when they got drawn out of the hat to travel up there. Melbourne winters, not always the kindest. You feel like they're playing in a sauna when they're up there, though. Here's Theodoropoulos charging forward. Bourgeois out wide. McGowan with the low ball in. The flag's up. And offside is the call to deny the home fans who are ready to celebrate a fourth. They've been in the mood this afternoon, in the second half in particular, Heidelberg, and catch that replay again. You can only be centimetres in it there.
It looked very close to me.
Noe Dara replied the finish. It's just about level.
Yeah, I'm a little puzzled by that one, Steve, to be honest. Thought that was well worked.
Not too many complaints from Heidelberg, who do have a 3-goal cushion in any case. It did look very close. Like a pretty well-timed run by Noe Dara.
Thought it was benefit of the doubt to the attacking team. It's charitable for Nunawading there. Heidelberg will be claiming they've scored 5 goals this afternoon.
Here's Ali with the throw on the far side. McGowan was the target. In fact, it was Theodoropoulos trying to flick it on for Bourgeois, who already has his customary goal this afternoon. Ali. Collins, it's an awkward one, just up and down. Theodoropoulos holds his ground under the challenge. It's coming from Dimitrakis. Choctaw receiving from Bourgeois. He's already got one this afternoon. He can certainly hit a ball. It's good shot stopping again by Pavlidis. Admittedly, it was straight at him, but he got everything behind it.
Yeah, well held. No, Choctaw can strike with real venom, so to be sure not to spill that one. It's helped on by Edgar this time. Deluri. Little back heel for Edgar. It's cleverly worked. But no way through against the league's best backline in Heidelberg. Nunawading have found it a struggle to break them down. They've had promising moments going forward, but nothing really leading to clear-cut chances. Fulton has the beating of Kabenko. 2 Nunawading players left sprawled on the deck. Well, this is bad news for Steve Vasukas. He only has 1 substitute left up his sleeve. And that looks like cramp to me.
We're not going to need goalkeeper Jed McCarthy to come on and play an outfield player role, are we? I think it just shows how hard these boys have worked without the ball today, which they've had to do for large periods of this game. You don't expect to see players going down with cramp this time of year. Conditions not so warm, players well conditioned, back end of the season, 21 rounds of the home and away already gone, but just feeling the pinch a little bit, some of these Nunawading players, the extra intensity. Felix Dimitrakis has had to do a power of work in defensive midfield.
Double change incoming for Heidelberg. Akil Raffi has made a positive impression on starting debut. He comes off, so too Bull Juach after scoring yet another goal. Number 19 in all competitions this season for the Raging Bull. On in their place, Peter Klaassen and Max Bassetto. So Heidelberg will go 4-4-2 by the looks of things, with Dow moving up top, Bassetto down the left. Old school.
A throwback for the last 20 minutes here. Peter Klaassen has just got one goal in the league this season, so be happy to get a second goal in, make it 2 in all competitions. It's an opportunity here up top. Max Bassetto as well, a player who's been a regular in the starting 11 as the left winger this season. Gets his chance off the bench as well for the last 20 minutes. One player who, I guess he refuses to go off, is Jamal Ali, who's still full of running out there. Here's O'Connor. Hodzic. Dimitrakis looking for options. He can't really see anything he likes ahead of him. Hodzic. Hard to find a way through the wall of yellow shirts. Yoshimura, the substitute. Playing it out wide for Celio. Dimitrakis. Well, they've lost out here. The fresh legs of Bassetto. Who's bearing down on goal is Max Bassetto. It's a good bit of defending in the end by Nunawading. O'Connor getting his body between Bassetto and the football and allowing his goalkeeper, Pavlidis, to come and make the claim. Nunawading enjoying a little bit of a spell of possession. But it just felt like inevitable. It was only a matter of time until Heidelberg won the ball back and went for the jugular, as they did there. Yoshimura is forced to play backwards. Heidelberg with their defensive line sitting on the halfway line, so it's a fairly high press here. They're not allowing too much space and time on the ball for this Nunawading side, ready to go bang and set some pressing traps when they try and play into midfield. But they found a little way through here. Dennis Deluri checks his run and jinks inside. So compact, it's only about 15 or 20 metres between the defensive line and the attacking line with the Burgers at the moment. Edgar, Deluri, those two combining well. Deluri, I'm not sure if that was an attempted cross out wide to try and find Kubinko, or even an attempt on goal, but either way it doesn't come into fruition.
I think he was having a pot shot, but it was deflected at the source. Deluri, a 4-time South Sudan international. Got some pedigree. Popped up at various clubs in the second and third tiers of Victoria, Eastern Lions, Brunswick Juventus.
He was a fan favourite at Geelong for a while there.
Bassetto whips it in. Repelled by the Nunawading defence. Saidara onto the second ball, wants a free kick, and will get one. And it's Dimitrakis, in fact, cutting a very frustrated figure. This Nunawading's Dockerty Cup hopes have sunk in the early stages of the second half. Still, the Australia Cup journey continues. They've got plenty to play for in VPL2 to secure their survival in that competition for next season. With 3 clubs going down, it's going to go to the wire. Sent into the box. Klaassen was the intended target. Ends up with Idara now.
the remainder of the season for Nunawading City, and certainly this cup campaign, although it ends today, you'd think it's been a massive story in Victorian football this year, and something that other clubs around the state would be hoping to emulate next year when they get the opportunity to try and be the giant killers as they've been this season. But yeah, some tough fixtures coming up for them, some really big fixtures as well. Eltham Redbacks is the league fixture this coming Friday night, and the Redbacks have been in really good form. That one's at Marnie's reserve. Ball over the top, Blake stays down here. Here's Basetto, who's only just come on the field a short time ago, and he chips it over Pavlidis to make it for Heidelberg United. It's been a fantastic performance in their second half, and it continues on this trajectory. They've well and truly booked their ticket into the Dockerty Cup final for 2025.
They've done it in style, haven't they? Max Basetto, easy as you like over the on-rushing Pavlidis. They were looking for a flag that never came, Nunawading. Left lean with the raking ball over the top. Basetto's fresh legs off the bench, and his burst of pace catches them out. And after a competitive showing in the first half, Heidelberg exposing the gulf in class between them and the mid-table VPL 2 opposition. Really well finished off by Max Basetto.
It's been a breakout season for Max Basetto. That makes it 6 in all competitions for him this season. Didn't really get that much of an opportunity at Oakley Cannons last year after coming from Western United, and he's really taken the bull by the horns this season. Really become a nailed-on starter in the league fixtures in NPL Victoria at that left wing position, and really found his groove. And this man on the ball here, left lean as well, will be happy. He's got an assist to his name tonight, this afternoon as well.
And the clean sheet's still intact.
Here's Basetto again. Klaassen making the run in behind. Still Klaassen! That's off the post. But it's going to fall for Choc Dow. Is the flag. The flag stays down. The goal's given. Some confusion. Choc Dow's not celebrating. So that is 5. To make it a 5-star performance for the Burgers. Just had to roll it into an open net. Klaassen, wishing he had got the goal himself. And it ricocheted perfectly to Choc Dow, who was in such an amount of space. It almost seemed like time had stood still. The Nunawading defenders not chasing back to put any pressure on him, and it's all too easy for Choc Dow.
And they're calling for the substitution as well. There's an injury in the build-up to the goal. Choc Dow was just waiting for somebody to tell him, have I scored? Have I not scored? Can I celebrate? Eventually.
He's eventually stirring that bowl. His oats are ready to be eaten.
He is cooking this season. Choc Dow in the cup. 2 today. And that's 4 for the season in the Dockerty Cup. It's O'Connor who's, I think, ripped his hamstring there. You can see it pull up. It looks like a really painful one.
With that trip to Darwin coming up, that would be so upsetting for Kane O'Connor.
Especially with the result beyond doubt. He's battled so bravely this season, especially this afternoon. Made so many important blocks, Kane O'Connor, but his afternoon comes to an early end as Filippo Giuffre gets on the pitch. Harris Hodzic, a ready-made replacement at centre-back. Giuffre will fill in at full-back. And the afternoon just goes from bad to worse for Nunawading. It's one thing to lose by a heavy scoreline against the best team in Victoria this season. It's quite another to start losing key players to serious injuries. And that did not look good from Kane O'Connor.
It's just a real kick in the pants. Like, yes, they can reshuffle and they can move the likes of Harris Hodzic back into that position in central defence to cover, and Nicholas Apostolopoulos can go into that right back role. But what it does is it just loses that depth that they have, and they've made another error here. Pavlidis dwelling on the ball for too long. Peter Klaassen, who's hungry for a goal. He's hit the post a short time ago, and he's pressing of the goalkeeper there. Almost saw Nunawading come undone again. as we say, Nunawading, they've got to look towards some big games. The Friday night game against Eltham Redbacks, and they're off to Darwin for the following Tuesday. And then they've got North Geelong Warriors at Alco Park. That's a tough assignment as well. And the final 3 games, Werribee, Pascoe Vale and Springvale White Eagles, some chance to pick up some points in those last 3 games, which would ensure them safety in the competition of the EPL 2 this year.
When you say that, Steve, they've actually played better against some of the top sides. They're an enigma, Nunawading.
Let's put them down for 3 points against the Redbacks and, well, against North Geelong at Elco Park.
They slapped North Geelong last time. It was, I think it was something like 7-1 they beat North Geelong, who are now the runaway league leaders. Amazing. Make that make sense. They beat Eltham Redbacks away from home at Eltham North Reserve on the synthetic, where very few teams emerge with anything.
Mind-boggling stuff.
And yet they've dropped points against some of the lesser lights in the league. So maybe the brighter the occasion, the better Nunawading perform. It hasn't been the case today, unfortunately. Dimitrakis sliding in late there. Jack Morgan reaching for the whistle again.
We are inside the last 10 minutes as the sun starts to set on Nunawading City's Dockerty Cup campaign, and what a campaign it has been as well. They've been banging in the goals from when they commenced in round 3 of the competition, putting 4 past Docklands Athletic, beating St Kilda 2-0. 7-2 winners against Whittlesea Rangers, 4-1 against VPL 1 side North Sunshine Eagles, and of course that dramatic result 4-0 against Hume City in the quarterfinal. Here's Clarkson, goes to ground a little bit too acrobatically, and he grabs the ball as well. The play should surely stop here. Well, Peter Clarkson reached out and grabbed the football with his left hand there.
Deary me, maybe the referee was unsighted, but surely you forced the referee to make a decision there. I think the one call that we can't have is play on in that situation. Maybe belatedly have a goal kick. Yeah, we are.
We might have seen a few firsts here this afternoon.
Even the Heidelberg players stopped. I'm thinking surely we're not just going to pretend that didn't happen.
But just on that final, that previous match, the quarter-final against Hume City, the 4-0 win, you were there at Marnie's Reserve that night, Josh. Have you seen anything like that in person in Victorian football that you can remember in recent years?
I mean, not by that scoreline, not that emphatically. I've seen giant killings and shocks plenty of times, but 4-0, they played them off the park as well. It's not as if the result flattered them. They completely tore Hume City to shreds. I think, the home advantage was a big part of it. This Olympic Village surface, I think, is a much bigger pitch than Marnie's, and also you just don't have the home comforts of knowing your own surface. Heidelberg's, home form is evidence of that. They are almost unbeatable on home turf. They haven't lost here all season. They haven't been held scoreless in a game since round 21 last year. They might be in for number 6. Fly forward, Passetto. McGowan chopping inside. Still Jay McGowan lost his footing at the crucial moment. Nunawading exhausted. Back the other way. Couldn't get the momentum going in forward direction. They were so direct against Hume as well, which is something they've lacked this afternoon. They were getting Edgar involved much earlier in the piece. No Lucas Slavitzer today, who was really good that night. But they've just meandered when they've won the ball today. They haven't been able to hurt Heidelberg in transition. Some of that's to do with Heidelberg's supreme transition defending and the way they recover and put pressure on the ball when they lose it. Geoffrey's ball forward was a hopeful one, intercepted by Lethlean. Now it's O'Dara and Dow.
Even Ben Collins is looking a bit tired there.
He's looking leggy, isn't he?
Not sure if he was adjusting his shin pads there or something as the ball was coming towards him, and he was just sort of caught off guard and off balance. Here's McGowan over in front of the Heidelberg technical area. Still making the running is Jamal Ali. Gets towards the byline. He's got Vasilio to beat. Well played, Vasilio. And he wins the goal kick as well. Well, one boost for Nunawading City. They'll get the cup-side players, Maceo Jones and Sean Gralla, back for this coming Friday night against the Eltham Redbacks.
And they'll need them too. Jones potentially stepping in central defence for O'Connor if he's unavailable. I hope that injury isn't as serious as it appeared. Adara, left lane. Besetto trying to make the run beyond the line. Left lane takes the more patient approach. Well, still 5 minutes and then some to play at Olympic Village. Heidelberg could rack up a couple more goals if they want them badly enough. McGowan. Chip forward from McGowan, cleared by Geoffrey. It was only as far as Theodoropoulos, but Nunawading spring forward on the counter attack through Edgar. Delury. Chance for a consolation, perhaps. Again, the attack slows down and they wait for 11 yellow shirts to get behind the ball. Delury's pass intercepted. Theodoropoulos contesting it. Vachilio. Dimitrakis. Back to Dimitrakis again. It's the ever-present at the base of midfield for Nunawading. Ishibashi.
Well, there's been a couple of times that Filippo Geoffrey's been free on this side. Maybe not gone to him. Maybe an attack down this side now.
The back heel from Ali backfires. But Jamal Ali, as he does so often, recovers brilliantly. Yoshimura for Hodzic. Nunawading patiently probing, probably their longest spell of possession of the entire game. Heidelberg standing off, waiting for the mistake. Dow puts Hodzic under enough pressure. He's looking hopefully towards the referee, and the whistle never came. Besetto thought about the long throw. Instead, he goes short to Adara. Sliding in was Dimitrakis. Another Nunawading throw.
So just 3 minutes of regulation time to go. Besetto getting on the end of the flick on. He's already got one coming off the bench all the way through to Pavlidis. And I might say that the fans that have turned out this afternoon, they've enjoyed a great, particularly the home fans, a great afternoon of attacking football. 15 degrees here in Heidelberg West this afternoon. Good conditions for spectators. Just reaching 10 minutes to 5 local time, and the sun setting and things cooling off a little bit, but it's been a fantastic afternoon for football, for everyone of the Heidelberg persuasion this afternoon. Here's Dennis Delury. He's got Fulton to beat. Fulton would not be denied getting his foot on the ball and putting it out of play for a throw there. Yoshimura in possession. Delury again. Ishibashi. Step forward here. Cross come in from the far side. Celio. Everyone behind the ball here still for the Burgers. Just playing out time, you fancy. Not long to go now. Their first appearance in the cup final for a couple of years. They'll be hoping it's a better final than their last one against the Oakley Cannons. Dismal night that was for the Burgers. It's looking promising this time when they will face South Melbourne or Avondale. Fulton's ball forward for Besetto. Just about keep this one in. Outside of the foot, does so. No, it doesn't. There was a slight delay on the flag and the whistle. Besetto looks perplexed.
Gives the ball back almost sarcastically. Max Besetto. Restart things. You mentioned that last cup final appearance. It was all hinged on that red card. For, I believe it was Aiden Federhajic who was sent off that day, which led to
early on.
It led to a penalty as well, so it was double jeopardy for Heidelberg, and I think it was the correct decision, but it just conditioned the whole game. They were already coming in as underdogs that season. Under new management this time around. A completely different proposition. One back by Hodzic, who's limping. Dimitrakis. Edgar was offside. That's unfortunate. It's one of Nunawading's better passing combinations of the afternoon, but Stewie Edgar was coming back from an offside position, the Queenslander.
Otherwise, delivery might have also almost been in down that right-hand side.
And Apostolopoulos arriving as well.
It'd be such a treat to cap off the Cup campaign with a goal, some consolation. Fourth officials board is up over on the far side. Bailey Panuto indicating just 2 minutes that Nunawading will have to find that consolation goal if they're able to continue their attack here. Ball into the back post, looking for Dennis Deluri. At the back, he ought to keep it in. He had no one there in support in any case.
Still they haven't tested Ryan Govan. No notable saves made by the Heidelberg backup keeper, who's had a very comfortable afternoon indeed.
Only marginally less comfortable than his regular goalkeeper, Yaron Souza, who's just sitting over on the pine on the far side this afternoon. Be resting up. Heidelberg will be in action on Friday night at Green Gully.
This is Kabenko. Lost out to Idara. It's brought to ground by Dimitrakis. Heidelberg wanted the advantage. Jack Morgan wants to show a yellow ticket to the Nunawading captain. There's a few words to say about the earlier challenge.
So just seconds left here now. Jack Morgan really asserting that yellow card at Dimitrakis.
It was brandished right in his face.
Almost grew a foot taller there, Jack.
McGowan for Theodoropoulos. Theodoropoulos cutting inside. Dow. McGowan stands it up. Deluri in the way. As we enter the game's final throws. Jack Morgan with the whistle to his lips. And that brings the afternoon to a close. And Heidelberg United have asserted their dominance today. A 5-star showing at Olympic Village to send them back to the Dockerty Cup final. A chance to lift their second Dockerty Cup in their history. Johnny Anastasiadis' side were irresistible this afternoon. Just 1-0 at the break. But they ran rampant in the second half as Nunawading's energy and morale dipped. Chuck Dow with a couple of goals. Anthony Lesiotis key. And getting the assist for the first goal. So involved in the second, but the floodgates really opened, Steve, at the end there. And we can see it on the stats, 17 shots to none.
That's right. The second half, Heidelberg came out like a team possessed to really take control after they enjoyed a lot of possession in the first half. Just the one goal in the first half, Hirosai Yokokawa. Lesiotis coming extremely close with a shot off the cross line, bouncing on or over the goal line or thereabouts. It's 1-0, just a solitary goal at half-time, but they piled on the second half goals. Goals for Buljuach, a couple of goals for Choc Dow after half-time. Max Bassetto off the bench. It was an absolute goal fest indeed. And, well, Heidelberg United's fans who've made it here, they're happy because they're going to see their side in the final and they're going to go in favourites in the final, whether they are playing South Melbourne or Avondale.
And they get a well-deserved round of applause from the home faithful. This team is on fire, and they'll be watching closely tonight on the Football Victoria YouTube channel as South Melbourne take on Avondale from 6 p.m. at Lakeside. So stick around for that one. We'll sign off here from Olympic Village. I've been Josh Parrish, joined by Steve Curtin. The final score, Heidelberg United 5, Nunawading City 0.